3 lifetimes, 3 whole lifetimes. I've lived through 3 damn lifetimes. In the first, I was a beast of burden, working 9 to 5, toiling until I questioned the very meaning of existence. To save a little girl who wandered into the road, I got sent flying by a truck. In the second, I transmigrated to a world of martial arts. I grinded for 20 years, only to become a top-tier martial artist. Lifetime in glory and splendor, only to wither away on a sickbed in the end, without even a decent final battle to my name. Third lifetime. Douluo. My father is a rank 97 Super Douluo, one of the 4 great spirit envoys of the Spirit Pagoda. My mother is a Title Douluo from the body sect. The family owns its own mines, and resources are in endless supply. Exactly 6 years old. Time for my spirit awakening today. A top-tier start to the game. Anyone would be thrilled, but my hands are trembling. What's there to panic about? Afraid of a crash? In this godforsaken Douluo world, cheaters are everywhere. Even Tang-san can pull off miracles with that blue silver gross. What if I end up with a blue silver gross Pro Max? Or some mental attribute like chronic procrastination? And I always feel like there's something hidden deep within this body. I can't quite put my finger on it. Something is waiting for the moment of awakening to burst forth. Are you nervous, Chenger? Ziran spoke up. Though 50, he looked no older than his early 30s. Before speaking, he habitually straightened his left cuff. It bore the silver-gray patterns of the Spirit Messenger uniform. Every time he was about to say something serious, he would perform this exact gesture. I'll be honest about one thing, he added, hoping you won't end up like that certain master of gods. Ziran chuckled. Your father is a genius. Your mother is an expert. You won't be any less. He finished, then adjusted his cuffs, as if trying to convince himself. A standard answer. The hovercar came to a halt. A silver tower, over 400 meters tall, stood right before my eyes. I took a deep breath before the Spirit Pagoda. Stepping out of the vehicle, I wondered what exactly awaited me inside. Please, oh please, let it not be blue silver gross. The dome inside the tower was incredibly high, illuminated by spirit guidance gemstones as bright as day. The hexagonal awakening platform sat in the very center, with runes flowing across. Quite a few people have arrived. They all greeted Ziran upon seeing him. I followed closely behind. The gazes landing on me felt like needles pricking my skin. Oh, if it isn't spirit transmission on Boise. A mocking voice came from the front left Langjuran, the Vice Pagoda Master of the Spirit Transmission Level 99 Pagoda. Limit Douluo. He looked to be in his early 30s, despite being over 40. He wore a dark red robe with golden patterns. He withdrew his aura completely, leaving not a trace. On the ring finger of his left hand, he wore a crimson thumb ring. He would subconsciously twist it whenever he spoke. It was only later that I realized his life-bound soul tool, the Heavenly Phoenix Nirvana ring. He had used it back when he attempted to break through to the rank of Limit Douluo. Behind him stood 2 young girls, Leng Yaju with her red hair, and Leng Yulai with her wine red hair. Greetings, Uncle Z. So this is your lad. Leng Juran sized me up. He gave the thumb ring on his finger a slow turn. He carries himself well. Leng Yaju tilted her head. You must be Z Chen. I heard you memorize the entire volume of Basic Principles of Soul Guidance Devices at my age 5. Face flushed red. Just a good memory. Leng Yulai poked her head out. When my sister awakened her martial soul, the entire platform shook. I'm sure I'll awaken the Heavenly Phoenix today too. Looking at these 2 girls, I suddenly didn't feel as nervous, but only for a moment. People started going up to the platform one after another. Flying Lion, Innate Spirit Power Level 8. Zhuanming Tortoise, Innate Rank 9 Soul Power. Wine Thunder Sky ROC, Innate Full Soul Power. All top-tier goods. The genetic pool of the Spirit Pagoda's upper echelons is truly next, feast or famine. Little girl, step onto the stage. Place your little hand on the awakening stone. Asterisk, an icy, chilling aura erupts. The light instantly turns pitch black. A massive, jet black cauldron manifests in midair, enveloped in deep, netherworldly flame, dark golden plumage, crimson eyes, dark phoenix. The crowd below gasped in shock. Leng Juran's thumb ring paused abruptly. He slapped his thigh and cheered. Well done. Leng Yulai threw herself into his arms. Daddy, was I impressive? Was I? I stared intently at that ball of dark flame. I thought to myself, this guy is the real cheater. Then he looked straight ahead and called my name. Next, Zi Chen. All eyes fell upon me as I stepped onto the stage. I turned back to look at my parents. Ziran said nothing. He simply adjusted his left cuff slowly. Then he nodded at me. Mu Wen smiled. I turned back around. Place your hand upon the awakening stone. A cyan serpent shadow slithered out from his arm with a hum. Its entire body was a translucent emerald green, elemental energy, a fluorescent wine cyan serpent imbued with spatial attributes. Someone from the crowd shouted, "Like father, like son." Ziran smiled. He lowered his hand from his sleeve. I let out a sigh of relief. That's fine. At least it's not blue silver gross. Then it felt as if a floodgate within my body had been kicked wide open. A scorching and domineering torrent erupted from every limb and bone. Countless pale golden spakes of light emerged from beneath my skin, enveloping my entire being in a golden radiance. The voice split apart upon direct inspection. Twin martial souls, the azure green snake, and the other a body martial soul. The crowd below erupted in chaos. Standing on the stage, I have no time to deal with them. My mind is exploding. Countless images. Memories are flooding in like a breached dam. I see myself as a 9-to-5 corporate slave, working overtime until 3 a.m. and being struck by a truck while pushing a little girl out of the way. And then I see myself again as a genius in a world of martial arts. 20 years of relentless grinding. A top-tier master of the martial world. I lived in glory for the better part of my life, only to wither away on a sickbed in both lifetimes. It has all come back. My whole body is trembling. My palms are slick with sweat. A warmth spreads across my forehead, and the purple gold mark flickers so fast that even I couldn't catch it. The deacon was still shouting, "Innate full spirit power. Twin martial souls. Body martial soul. Innate full spirit power." The crowd below went wild. Ziran clenched his fists tightly. His eyes turned red. The silver embroidery on his left cuff was crumpled into a ball in his grip. He had forgotten to smooth it out. Moon covered her mouth in shock. Then the deacon pulled me toward the silvery white instrument. It was time for the mental power test. I put on the helmet. The large screen lit up. The numbers flickered. 100, 150, 200, 220, 238, 239. Fixed at 239 points. Spirit connection realm. The hall fell so silent that one could hear their own heartbeat. Leng Yulei scored 64 points. With my 239, the smile vanished from Leng Jiran's face. He even stopped twirling the ring on his finger. The way they looked at me had completely changed. No longer the child of an old friend, but rather, what the hell kind of monster is this? I had only one thought in mind. Once the awakening ceremony concluded, Ziran politely declined the dinner invitation and headed straight home. Only the three of us remained in the living room. Ziran dismissed all the servants and shut down the smart butler. He sat down. First, he straightened his left cuff. That hand was still trembling slightly. "Chenger," he stared at me. "When you awaken, a purple gold mark flashed across your forehead. It was extremely ancient. I have never seen it before. Do you feel anything?" My heart skipped a beat. What is meant to come will eventually come. I had already prepared what to say. Now that father has brought up that mark himself, it is the perfect opportunity to shift the blame onto it. I lifted my head, wearing an expression of deep, earnest recollection. Now that you mention it, I have verified it for myself. When my martial soul awakened, a great deal of information flooded into my mind. It felt as if someone had shoved an entire thick book directly into my brain. Inside it, there is a cultivation technique called the martial way. Walking over to the desk, he picked up a brush and paper to write. The strokes were crooked. Every single character brimmed with vigor. This is called the Taizhuan Gong. Its core lies in 8 words: endless and inexhaustible, profound, potent, and pure. It is easy to enter the path, and there is no risk of deviation. Ziran and Mu Wen swept their gazes over it. Their expressions shifted instantly. With the discerning eyes of Title Douluo, a single glance was enough to tell it was a path entirely distinct from soul power cultivation. Where did this come from? Ziran lowered his voice, his hand tightening around my sleeve once more. It's that very mark. It feels like some kind of inheritance. I blinked. Divine artifact inheritance. As soon as those 2 words were uttered, they were both shaken. Ziran probed my soul once more. Pure and familiar, with no signs of external corruption. He loosened his cuffs and let out a long sigh of relief. "Since the soul is still yours," he said slowly. His fingers finally drifted away from his sleeves. "This is a heaven-sent opportunity. As for the cultivation technique, only the 3 of us must know." A warmth spread through my heart. In my past 2 lives, I was always an orphan. For the first time in this 3rd life, I finally felt what it was like to have a home. The next day, Ziran took me to acquire my first soul spirit. Deep within the underground restricted zone, a massive incubation chamber stood inside the core laboratory. A small emerald green snake, about a foot long, floats within the pale green nutrient solution. Budding wings can be seen on its back. A conking snake spirit soul. I crafted it with my own hands. It is perfectly compatible with your martial soul. I've infused it with my own insights into the fusion of wine and space. It is a century-old spirit soul. I never expected your mental power to be so terrifying back then. After he finished speaking, He habitually adjusted his left cuff. This time, his movements were very gentle. With that look, how promising my son is. 100-year spirit ring is still as long as it can level up. He pressed his small hand against it. The little snake transformed into a streak of light and burrowed into his palm. A cool surge of energy poured in, guided according to the path of the Dragon Transformation Sutra. Merge it with that warm current. In a trance, he saw a vague cyan-colored dragon shadow flicker behind the little snake. Half an hour later, a yellow spirit ring rose from beneath his feet. First spirit ability, power of the clear wind, passive amplification. Wind and space fused automatically. Affinity and control reached their peak. With a surge of spirit power, he officially crossed the threshold of a level 11 spirit master. He stepped out of the spirit pagoda. I lowered my head and clenched my fists. The experience from my past two lives tells me that talent alone won't keep you alive for long. Starting tomorrow, I will train until I'm half dead. For the next 6 months, I practiced my stance before dawn every single day. Condensing my spirit power into a spear, I would thrust it thousands of times. The first strike was off by half an inch. The 1000th strike landed dead center on the wooden stake. The web between my thumb and forefinger wore raw. Scab it over, then scab only it over. To be worn my raw spear again. Technique from my past life emphasized intent and force. Spear technique emphasizes trajectory and the power of conking binds these two together. Ziran's glue spear. Tempering the body with a wooden bowl. Soaking in the medicinal bath until I'm bearing my teeth in agony. 1,000-year golden flood dragon mysterious water pill. The dark green medicinal liquid felt like needles pricking my entire body. A year later, Ziran pressed his hand on my shoulder and threw a punch. He first tittied up his left cuff. Then he spoke, level 15. The density of your soul power is 5 times that of an ordinary level 15 soul master. Can I go to the life creation platform today? He nodded. The silver embroidery on his cuff glinted under the light. The entrance to the life creation platform resembled an inverted, milky white crystal egg. Led me through layers of security checks. Upon seeing Ziran, the staff bowed a full 90 degrees. A circular room. Walls lined with screens. Displaying primeval jungles, mountain ranges, and deep-sea spirit beast habitats. Technological spiritual interference. Full fusion of energy projection. Extremely high synchronization rate, the 5 spiritual senses. Trauma. The consequences are unimaginable. Got it. I've got it. The staff shoved me into a metal cabinet that looked like a coffin. Suction cups attached to my temples and my chest and limbs. The cabinet door closed and everything went pitch black. Countless currents of electricity surged through every limb and bone. But compared to the money of 2 lifetimes, this pain is truly nothing. The body shuddered, like passing through a membrane of water. The world before my eyes brightened. Towering, ancient trees, layers of thick, decaying humus. The scent of earth and vegetation filled the air. I took a deep breath. The azure serpent transformed into a spear in my hand. Skill, power of the azure void, eyes closed. The wind became my ears. I hadn't even walked 200 meters when a piercing sound tore through the air from behind and above. Aiming straight for my nape, I shifted my feet, evading with the dragon roaming step. As a streak of colorful light grazed past my clothes, a 4-meter-long colorful monster snake hung in midair. A century-level phoenix tail mechanical snake. It let out a hiss and charged again. Welcome. Instead of retreating, he advanced. Body martial soul avatar. The conking divine spear swept across. Bang. The snake's head was struck. The entire snake was sent flying, crashing into a tree trunk. Chase it. The spear tip thrust directly at its fleshy crest. Squelch. A white light rose up, drifting into the spear body. Next, with clean and swift movement, dispatched a few blind spirit beasts. The age of Yueching visibly increased by a significant margin, but the consumption of spirit power was substantial. Found a tree hollow to meditate and recover. When spirit power returned to 70 or 80%. Within the perception of wind, the chirping of insects and birds vanished all at once. Dead silence, eyes snapped open, exploding out of the tree hollow with a squelch. A pitch-black spider leg pierced through the spot where I was just sitting. The surrounding trees are covered in pristine white spider silk. Trapped in the middle, Nan-faced demon spider, century level. A killer among spirit beasts. Its strength rivals an ordinary 1,000-year spirit beast. This just as trouble. I was preparing to use spatial teleportation to escape, a bolt of crimson flame came crashing down, burned through the spider web. Little brother Zichen walked through the gap, darted out, and looked up to see Leng Yaoju. What a coincidence! Just passing by. He lifted his chin, attacked together. The man-faced demon spider stirred. Its 8 long legs left after images in their wake. With a sudden arch of its back, several spider legs shot forth like a barrage of crossbow bolts. He flicked his hollow divine spear, knocking them aside. Every impact sends a jolt of numbness through my arm. I keep the pressure on with the dragon roaming steps. Flames erupt from Leng Yao's palms. I channel my spirit power into the demon spider's path. I seize the opening. Man and spear become one, transforming into a streak of astral lightning straight at its abdomen. The demon spider opens its maw. It spewed green venom toward the Tyrannosaurus. You long dodged most of it with agile movements. The tip of his spear was about to pierce through. Suddenly, its human-like face opened its mouth. A white spider web shot out at a speed several times faster than before. His old momentum and his new strength had yet to form. There was no leverage to be found in midair. Lin Yaoju pressed her palms together. A palm-sized phantom of a fire phoenix condensed between her hands. First spirit ability, Heavenly Phoenix Flowing Fire. The fire phoenix collided with the white web. Flames and spider silk dissolved simultaneously. The shockwave grazed my collar, but I did not retreat. The spear tip pierced through asterisk squat asterisk. I twisted the shaft and gave it a stir. He collapsed as a white spirit light ascended. It split into two and drifted toward me. The Azure God Spear's green glow solidified a layer. Panting, he holstered his gun and offered his thanks. Just a trivial favor. He turned his head away, a smirk tugging at the corner of his lips. He knew deep down it was too much of a coincidence to run into him at the spirit altar. Suspiciously so. Ever since that encounter, it felt only natural for them to form a team. For days in a row, slaughtered quite a few century-level spirit beasts and taken down several millennium-level ones. This millennium-level three-eyed demon fox before us is entirely silver white, possesses incredible speed, is adept at illusions. On Si Chen's side, Lin Yaoju uses her fire line to seal the path, while the spirit spear cuts in from the flank. Striking down with 3 spear shadows, Lin Yaoju unleashed 3 more Heaven Phoenix meteor fires. The white light drifted toward him. During the break, he tilted his head and looked at me. You only awakened your martial soul half a year ago, 6 years old, right? What kind of parents would dare let their child risk their life like this? I scratched my head. Maybe I'm just tough. Tough? He glared at me. I'm over a year older than you. My parents only dared to teach me basic combat techniques. Yulai is the same age as you. At rank 15, you don't even dare to step into the spirit platform gate. That makes you a monster. I can't be bothered to argue. Then they encountered a dark demonic cultivator. A roar echoed from the depths of the forest. A cold, violent aura permeated the air like a tangible frigid current. A massive, purple-black feline slowly emerged, dragging a scorpion tail behind it. The tip of the tail shimmered with a ghostly blue. Wherever it passed, the vegetation withered away. Lin Yaoju's voice tightened. 1,000-year dark demon scorpion tiger, the supreme guardian of the primary spirit platform. It is said to be a descendant of the god-level soul beast, the dark demon evil god tiger. With only 1,000 years of cultivation, it can rival the dragon transformation 10,000 years in my body beast began to surge and boil. It felt as if I had encountered a natural predator. I saw those vertical pupils. It was looking at me, not with the ferocious glare of a soul beast eyeing its prey. He was identifying it. Within those cold, slit pupils, there was a trace of fear and a hint of greed. As if confirming something, that fear seemed to be peering into the part of this body that had yet to awaken. Retreat. Press the red button simultaneously. A pillar of light enveloped my entire body. In the final second before I vanished, those slit pupils were still fixed upon me. The life pod slid open. Chinger gasped for air. Are you all right? Are you okay? With a flicker of his consciousness, he summoned Yue Qing. The small cyan snake, originally only a foot long, was now wreathed in a cyan glow, looking much more solid than before. Its age had increased by at least 300 years. Next door, Lin Yaoju also crawled out. Her small face turned pale. Ling Juran came in to pick her up. A flicker of strangeness crossed his face. He unconsciously spun the jade ring on his finger twice. Before parting, Lin Yaoju secretly tugged at my sleeve. Can we team up again next month? Sure. After returning home, life got back on track. In half a year, I leveled up from rank 11 to rank 15. It sounds intimidating, but at least 2 of those levels were fueled by genius grade treasures. Haste makes waste. Over the following year, my cultivation steadily reached the peak of level 19. Every month, I teamed up with Lin Yaoju. Yukin grew from a small snake into a 3-foot-long green python. The great dark demon scorpion tiger was like a creditor that just wouldn't let go. Every time I entered, I would run into it. And every time, I could only press the button to escape. Lin Yaoju was furious. Next time I see it, I'll definitely burn its tail bald. I shouldn't lose my cool either. Calling for one's elders when one can't win. How is that any different from a giant baby? That afternoon, alone in the cultivation room, my spirit power surged to the peak of level 19, just a single step away from level 20. The first level of the Dragon Transformation Sutra had also reached its threshold of perfection. It is time. I sat down cross-legged. Take out the medicinal meal prepared in the wooden bowl. Summon Liu King. The little one obediently coiled up to the side. Close your eyes. Sink your consciousness into your body. Operate the dragon transformation art with full force. Your soul power surges like a rushing river, roaring through your meridians. Boom, the invisible barrier is shattered. Your soul power breaks through the level 20 bottleneck. The azure light of the Moonclear serpent erupted with brilliant intensity. Its aura surged violently, climbing its rapidly. Body elongated within the radiance, expanding from a 3-foot serpent to nearly 2 meters in length. With scales gleaming with a chilling, it transformed into a winged azure python. A second spirit ring, deep purple in color, materialized out of thin air. Power broke through, ascending to the level of a 21st rank great second spirit ability, Azure Python Entanglement. It coalesced into the phantom of an azure python, possessing both binding and corrosive properties. But this is not the end yet. Focus all your mental energy on the final threshold of the first layer of the Dragon Transformation Sutra. Condense the true Dragon Cha. Refine essence into Cha. Gather Cha to manifest the dragon. Guide your soul power and lifeblood to strike the specific meridians and acupoints. Every collision brings a tearing, agonizing pain. I know not how much time has passed. Deep within the Danshan Sea of Cha, a brilliant speck of cyan light suddenly ignited. The true Dragon Cha is about to undergo its first blood transfusion. He lifted the medicinal tonic and drained it in one gulp. The scorching medicinal power exploded within his stomach. The Dragon Transformation Sutra frantically refined the medicinal essence, converting it into the most primordial power of blood and Cha. His body martial soul manifested autonomously, taking control of this power capable of tearing his body apart. His blood and Cha surged, skin turning crimson. The temperature in the cultivation room is rising sharply. The blood flow has accelerated tenfold. Every heartbeat thunders like a war drum. I feel like an engine being forcibly overclocked. If I can endure this, I will be reborn. Yes, under the guidance of my formidable spiritual power. The boiling blood essence condenses into a scorching, concentrated mass of blood energy hovering within my danshan, resonating with that wisp of true dragon aura. Endless and ever-flowing, exhaling a long breath of stale air, opening his eyes, throwing a casual punch. Without utilizing any soul power, the force of the punch let out a sharp, whistling sound. The power of this strike is at least 3 times greater than before the blood transfusion. The path of martial Dao finally officially entered. The door to the cultivation chamber slid open softly. Zhu Ran stood at the entrance. First, he habitually adjusted his left cuff. Then his gaze, sharp as lightning, over my entire body. The flow of blood and vigorous and full of spirit. The first blood refinement was completed even more than Father had anticipated. He handed over a wooden bowl of spirit calming soup. You've worked hard. Drink this quickly to restore your vital energy. And downed it in one gulp. Father, Mother, I have succeeded. The first level of the Dragon Transformation art is complete. The true Dragon Cha has been cultivated. Zhu Ran laughed heartily. The silver embroidery on his cuff swayed as he patted my shoulder. Let's go. I'll have your mother prepare a feast for you tonight. No sooner had the words left than Leng Yaoju's voice drifted in from outside the door. Zicheng, are you there? I pulled the door open. She stood at the threshold, breathless and panting. After giving me a thorough once-over, she let out a sigh of relief, only to immediately pout her lips. You finally come out. Next time you go into seclusion, remember to tell me in advance. Are you worried about me, Sister Yaoju? Who is worried about you? His face flushed red. You've broken through to level 20, level 21. And you've comprehended your second soul skill as well. A flicker of fighting spirit flashed in his eyes. I also just broke through to level 24 a few days ago. Let's head to the Life Spirit platform again next month. Although it's still impossible to defeat that scorpion tiger, but we can hold him off for a while. He paused for a moment and said, Right, I heard that the dark demon scorpion tiger is a spirit recorded by the Spirit Pagoda as an unyielding spirit. It was transformed from a true soul beast. I fear it's no coincidence that it has set its sights on us. My father said, this kind of spirit preserves a vast amount of origin power. Defeating it might just drop something valuable. I rubbed my chin. With the spirit bone and the binding effect of the Azure Python Entanglement, combined with the firepower of the cold jade pearl, we might just stand a chance in this fight. Leng Yaoju grinned. Master your second spirit ability first. Don't go dragging me down when the time comes. I laughed. All right, Yue, let's take them down. The door to the cultivation room closed behind me. I looked down at my own hands, where the veins were faintly visible. Blood and Cha as heavy as mercury. Deep within the danshan, that wisp of true dragon Cha rotates slowly, like a seed waiting to be detonated. But there are some things I haven't told them yet. The terror in the vertical pupils of the dark demon scorpion tiger. It was as if it were looking at the part of this body that has yet to awaken. My violet cold mark. Even I have yet to see it clearly. Ziran said it is incredibly ancient, never once seen in any historical records. Someone is waiting for me, and he knows I'll see him at the end of the month.